You think time passes, you feel it, don't you? Seconds ticking by, minutes slipping away, hours vanishing into yesterday. You age, things decay, the universe marches forward, time flows like a river, carrying you from past through present into future. That is what you think. But what if I told you that everything you believe about time is wrong? Not slightly wrong, completely, fundamentally, embarrassingly wrong. And the real nature of time is so strange, so alien to human intuition, that even after I explain it, part of your brain will refuse to accept it. Let's start simple. What is time? Go ahead, try to define it. You can't, can you? You know what a clock is, you know what later means, but time itself, it is like trying to grab smoke. Grab. Here is what most people do. They point at a watch and say, that is time. No, that is a machine, a mechanical device that counts oscillations, a pendulum swinging, a quartz crystal vibrating, a cesium atom oscillating. The machine counts these repetitions and displays a number, but the counting isn't time. The oscillations aren't time. They're just events, physical processes, regular, predictable, useful for measurement, but not time itself. So if time isn't what clocks measure, what is it? This is where your brain starts to fight back. You have this deep intuition that time is fundamental, that it is woven into the fabric of reality, that even if you removed everything, every atom, every particle, every bit of energy from the universe, time would still tick forward, empty space, empty time, still progressing, still flowing. Wrong. Completely wrong. Time doesn't exist without change. If nothing in the universe changes, if no particles move, no fields fluctuate, no energy transfers, then time has no meaning. You can't define a second without something physical to mark it. The swing of a pendulum, the vibration of an atom. Without these processes, without change, the word time is gibberish. Think about that. Time isn't a container that holds events. Time is the events. It is not a river that flows. It is the label we stick on the sequence of changes. First, this happens, then that happens. We call that ordering time. But the ordering doesn't exist separately from the things being ordered. Imagine you have a deck of cards laid out on a table. Jack, Queen, King. The Queen comes before the King. That is an ordering. But is there some mysterious force called order that makes them line up that way? Number the order is just a description of how they're arranged. Time is like that. It is a description of how events are arranged, not a force that arranges them. Now here is where it gets weird. You think time passes at the same rate everywhere. 1 second per s-econd, right? A clock on Earth ticks at the same rate as a clock on Mars, on Jupiter. In another galaxy, it feels obvious. It feels like it must be true. It is not. The rate at which time passes depends on where you are and how fast you are moving. This isn't theory. This isn't speculation. This is measured fact. We've tested it thousands of times. Clocks at different heights tick at different rates. Clocks moving at different speeds tick at different rates. The differences are tiny at human scales, but they're real. And at extreme conditions, near black holes or at speeds close to light, the differences become enormous. How is this possible? How can time itself change rate? Because time isn't a universal backdrop. It is not a cosmic metronome, ticking the same for everyone. Time is a dimension like space. And just as space can be stretched and compressed, so can time. Gravity stretches time, motion compresses it. The geometry of space-time curves and warps, and the rate at which clocks tick changes with it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are standing still. You are not moving through space. You are just sitting there, but you are moving. You are moving through time. Every second you advance 1 second into the future. You are traveling through the time dimension at maximum speed. Now imagine you stand up and walk. You are now moving through space. But here's the thing, your total speed through space is constant always. If you start moving through space, you must slow down your movement through time. You can't help it. It is automatic. It is geometry. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. Your clock slows down. Your aging slows down. Not because the clock is broken, not because biology is affected, because time itself is moving slower for you relative to someone who is stationary. If you could move at the speed of light, which you can't because you have mass, but if you could, you would stop moving through time entirely. For a photon, a particle of light, time does not pass. It is born and absorbed in the same instant from its own perspective. It doesn't experience duration. The universe is frozen. This is not metaphor. This is not philosophy. This is Einstein's relativity, and it has been tested more thoroughly than almost any other theory in physics. GPS satellites have to account for this. They're moving fast and they're higher up where gravity is weaker. So their clocks tick at a different rate than clocks on the ground. If we didn't correct for this, GPS would give you wrong directions. It would drift by kilometers per Dalton wide. But surely you are thinking, surely there is some absolute time underneath it all. Some master clock that ticks the same everywhere. Some universal now that covers the whole universe. There isn't. There is no universal now, no cosmic present moment that everyone shares. What you consider now depends on your motion. If you are standing still and I am moving past you, we slice through space. I am at different angles. Events that are simultaneous for you are not simultaneous for me. We literally disagree about what is happening right now. And we're both correct. There is no absolute answer. Now is relative. Think about what this means. Right now in your reference frame, there are things happening. But someone flying past Earth at high speed would have a different right now. For them, the events on Mars that are happening right now are different events than your right now. Your now and their now are tilted relative to each other, slicing through space-time at different angles. Time is not a universal stage where events happen. Time is a coordinate, a label, and different observers assign different labels to the same events depending on how they're moving. This destroys the common sense picture. You think the universe is like a movie, frame by frame, moment by moment, marching forward, past, present, future. But that is wrong. The universe is more like a block, a four-dimensional block of spacetime, where every event, past, present, and future exists simultaneously. You, me, dinosaurs, your great-great-grandchildren, all of us exist at different coordinates in the time dimension. Just as London and Tokyo exist at different coordinates in space, London doesn't cease to exist just because you are in Tokyo. The past doesn't cease to exist just because you are in the present. The past is just elsewhere in time. The future is elsewhere in the other direction. This is called the block universe. And it is the picture that emerges from relativity. Time doesn't flow. The block is static. What changes is your consciousness moving through it, experiencing one slice at a time like reading a book. A whole book exists, all pages at once, but you read it page by page, creating the illusion of a story unfolding. You might be screaming at this point, but I feel time passing. I experience it. Things change. How can time not flow? You experience change. That is different. Your brain processes information sequentially. Memories form, neurons fire in order. You experience a sequence of states, and your brain interprets that sequence as time flowing. But the flow is in your perception, not in the physics. The universe doesn't flow. You flow through the universe. Let me ask you something else. Why does time have a direction? Why can you remember the past but not the future? Why do eggs break but not unbreak? Why does coffee cool down but not spontaneously heat up? Physics equations don't care about the direction of time. If you film a planet orbiting a star and play it backward, it still obeys the laws of gravity perfectly. The equations work both forward and backward. So why does time seem to have an arrow? Why is the future different from the past? Entropy, disorder, probability. There's only one way for an egg to be whole. There are a billion ways for an egg to be broken. splattered here, splattered there. Shell in pieces, yolk scrambled. When you drop an egg, it doesn't choose to break. It is just vastly more probable to end up in one of the billion broken states than in the one unbroken state. The universe is constantly moving from organized states to disorganized states simply because there are more disorganized states available. More ways to be messy than tidy. This increase in disorder and entropy is what gives time its arrow. You feel time moving forward because you are watching the universe get messier. Your brain registers the increase in entropy, and it interprets that as time passing. But time itself has no direction. The arrow is statistical, not fundamental. If you could somehow reverse every particle in the universe, flip all the velocities, the universe would run backward perfectly. The physics would work, but it would look absurd to you because your brain, your memories, your sense of causation, all of these are built on entropy increasing. Your intuition is a thermodynamic byproduct. Now let's talk about now. Again, your subjective experience of now. Right now you feel present, aware, experiencing this moment. But what moment? It takes time for light to travel from this screen to your eyes. About 10 billionth of a second, but still time. Then it takes time for your brain to process the signal, maybe a 100 milliseconds. Then you become aware of it. By the time you consciously experience now, it is already the past. You are living on a delay. Your brain hides this from you. It backdates your experience, stitches together signals that arrived at different times, smooths everything out. It creates the illusion of a coherent present moment. But it is an illusion. Your now is a constructed fiction, a moving window about 3 seconds wide, where your brain blends past and slightly less past into something that feels immediate. So when you experience the present moment, you are not experiencing what is happening now. You are experiencing your brain's best guess at what happened a moment ago, edited for continuity, packaged as now. Here is something even stranger. Time might not even be fundamental at the deepest level, at the quantum level, where space-time itself might break down into something more basic. Time might not exist at all. Some theories suggest that time emerges, that at the smallest scales, there is no such thing as time, no sequence, no duration, just a timeless quantum state. And time only appears when you zoom out, when you look at large collections of particles, when thermodynamics and entropy kick in. Time might be like temperature, meaningless for individual particles. But a useful concept for big groups. We don't know if this is true, we're still figuring it out, but the possibility is there. The thing you experience most immediately, most undeniably, the flow of time might be an emergent illusion, a useful fiction. Your brain tells you a consequence of living in a universe with entropy. Let me bring this back to something concrete. You started reading this a few minutes ago. You feel like time has passed since then, and in a sense, your brain has processed information. Memories have formed, entropy has increased, the universe has shuffled toward disorder. But the passing isn't something time did. It is something you did. You moved through space. You traced a path from one set of coordinates to another. Time didn't carry you. You traveled. And here is the beautiful, terrifying thing. The path you are on, the sequence of moments you are experiencing, it is already laid out in the block universe picture. Your entire life from birth to death exists as a four-dimensional path through spacetime, a world line. Every moment you've experienced, every moment you will experience, it is all there. Does this mean free will is an illusion? That is the wrong question. That is a philosopher's question. The physicist's question is, does the future exist? And the answer from relativity is yes. It exists just as much as the past. It is just located at a different coordinate, but you don't experience it all at once. Your consciousness is local. It exists at one point on your world line, moving along it, experiencing one slice at a time. You don't know what is ahead because your knowledge is limited to where you've been, not where you are going. The map exists, but you can only see the part you've walked. Let me tell you something that should blow your mind. According to relativity, for someone moving fast enough relative to you, your future already exists in their past. They're moving through spacetime at such an angle that there now includes your tomorrow. Not as a prediction, as a fact, as something that has already happened in their reference frame. Your future is someone else's past. Think about that. This is the reality we live in, a reality where time doesn't flow, where now is relative, where past, present, and future coexist, where duration depends on motion and gravity, where the arrow of time is thermodynamic, not fundamental, where the universe is a static block and consciousness is the moving spotlight. Everything you feel about time, everything you intuit it is wrong, or at least it is limited. It is a useful approximation for navigating a world at human scales and human speeds, but it is not the deep truth. The deep truth is stranger, more mechanical, more geometric, less poetic. Time is not a river, it is a dimension, and dimensions don't flow. You know what is remarkable? That we figured this out at all. At where biological creatures evolved to hunt and gather on an African savanna, our brains are optimized for tracking predators and finding food, not understanding the geometry of spacing. Yet somehow, through careful observation and mathematics, we discovered that our intuitions are wrong. We discovered that time is weirder than we ever imagined, and we're still learning, still probing, still finding new surprises. Quantum mechanics adds another layer of strangeness. General relativity adds another. We don't have a complete picture yet. We don't understand how time works at the very smallest scales, near singularities, at the Big Bang, but we've come far. We've learned that time is not what it seems, that the flow is an illusion, that the present is not universal, that the past and future exist just as much as now. This should change how you think about your life. You are not being swept along by time. You are not a leaf on a river. You are a four-dimensional object, a world line threading through spacetime. Every moment of your life exists. It is all there, stretched out, permanent, unchanging in the block. What you call living is just consciousness moving along that world line, experiencing it moment by moment. But the line itself doesn't move. It just is. So when you feel time slipping away, when you worry about wasting time, remember, you are not losing anything. It is all still there. Your childhood, your first kiss, your breakfast this morning, they exist at their coordinates, just as real as this moment. You've just moved past them. The past isn't gone. You are just elsewhere now. And your future, it is waiting not as a possibility, as a place, a location in space I am. You haven't reached yet. You will get there. You are already on the path. Time doesn't pass, you do. And that, strange as it sounds, is what time really is. Not a river, not a flow, just a dimension, just a universe, being the bizarre, beautiful, mechanical thing it actually is. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. The illusion is broken. The river evaporates and you are left standing in a static block of space. I am wondering how you ever believed it was moving. Welcome to the real nature of time. It is nothing like you thought. And somehow, that makes it more amazing.